What's it like having Ricky Pearsall back at practice, considering what he's been through?
I look at it as a blessing. Anything could have went wrong, but God was with him in the situation, and we always glad to get him back. And he's been excited. He's never left the building. He's here every day, just doing the best he can to get back, and he's back. So let him spin.
Obvious question. You guys got a big win against Seattle on Thursday. Big game coming home. How are you guys just feeling going into this one against Kansas City?
Can't let the moment get too high right now. That happens on Sunday when the game get here, but we got to hone in on all the details this week at practice, and work on getting better day in, day out.
What is it that makes a Chiefs and Steve
screaming?
What is it that makes a Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo defense?
Man, you never know where they're coming from. They like the blitz, and they got great corners over there as well.
How different is this Chiefs team here in Week 7 versus who you saw?
Say it again.
How different does the Chiefs team look right now in Week 7 versus the team?
I wouldn't say nothing too different. Still got 15 back there, and I'm the best to do it right now, and you always got a chance with him. So I think they look real good right now.
Deebo, what makes McDuffie such a good player?
His patience. How patient he is at the line, and how to use his hands.
Yesterday, I asked Kyle Shanahan. Yesterday, you and Kittle talked about on your podcast how he had that conversation about it being a must-win, but it's not a must-win, so he didn't technically say that. What is the mantra going into this one?
I mean, same motto. We always want to get every win we can, and I wouldn't kind of say our back was kind of against the wall last week, so I kind of that was kind of the message. But it's the next game, and we just got to go out here and do what we do.
So it's not a feeling of your back being a point all the time.
You said it's a little emotional. Do you try to tap into those emotions, or do you kind of want to just put the distractions to the side and treat it like another football game?
Yeah, the latter.
What makes Mahomes a cut above the rest if you look at him?
I think his arm strength. He's able to get the ball far distances really fast, so you don't need that much separation. And then his way he creates plays, he likes to pump fake people and make them miss and run for first downs when you need them. His running ability is kind of underrated. He's stout, so he's tough to bring down, and he makes good decisions.
Bosa, how does a defensive performance like last week kind of fuel you guys going into a game like this and then coming home to do that?
It's huge, yeah. Last week we talked about being a must-win, and we got it done, but we have to play like that every week. It's not a one-off, so we're excited to be back home for a couple weeks and need to stack another one.
How do you manage your own expectations when you have 14 pressures, but you're not putting it in the sack numbers that you'd like to get?
I think just staying the course and continuing to get better, which I think I've done. And then hopefully that day comes where the stats come. But I think I affected the game a good amount last week, so that's good for the team.
Nick, I'm sure losing a Super Bowl, there are plenty of plays you think about, damn, if only we'd done better there. But when it comes to the 4th and 1 on Mahomes run in overtime, is that one particularly, I don't know it's 4th and 1, so it's no guarantee you're going to stop him, but is that one particularly, was that
likes to hold the ball.
Difficult to get over?
Yeah, no, that was tough, especially because we have calls that could negate that, and we just didn't really, they ran the zone read a few times, and we just didn't find an answer to it. But yeah, I definitely thought he was going to hold it or keep it, but I got to do my job, especially in a big moment like that. You can't go out of your job. But we definitely have a plan for the zone read this time, so hindsight's 2020.
Because you crashed, but that is your job, right?
That was, yeah.
Okay. But then you, mid-play, you're kind of
yeah.
You did a shrug, but not a celebratory shrug. Can you even hint at what should have happened?
There's a couple of variables. I think the tight end came across, so that changes some things for the guys behind me. So I honestly don't know whose it is, but I just tried to make it decisive for the guys.
Has the idea changed a lot
from that game, just watching in terms of how you try to attack it this time around from your experiences?
Yeah. I mean, like any game that you've played a team before, you watch the tape and learn from it.
Does this offensive line notoriously get kind of less, I guess, less in trouble for holding, or is it just depending on the game?
Last year, for sure. Last year, they had 2 of the top penalized guys in the league. But it doesn't look too bad this year, but we'll see.
Are there more crews? Are there refereeing crews that kind of let it go more than others?
I mean, it seems different every week, so we'll see.
Do you count your steps throughout the day? Is that why you use a scooter?
That's kind of how it started. I don't count them, but I just takes a little off the legs. Why not? It's a lot of walking from building to building.
You've seen significant improvement from them as a run defense.
Yeah, and their interior, I mean, even their other guys that aren't 95. Karloff's a great edge guy, sets the edge. 69's another, they're saying he's one of the top run defensive guys and D tackles in the league. So pretty much they're without the Baltimore game, they're number 1 right now. They're by far in run defense. So for us, it's going to be a huge challenge. And, they muddy things up. It's hard. It's not as clear as looks as what you get with some teams, so that's the one thing that we're gonna have to do is kind of sifting through that, and then being able, when you get an opportunity for a big play, take advantage of it. That's one thing that they've done really good is they limit those explosive plays. So plays that we're looking at, 20 yards, 15 yards, they keep them at 8. You guys do a good job of coming off blocks. So that's a big thing. They've played together a long time, and so have we. So they're a confident group, and looking forward to it.
You haven't played a lot with the other
teams. Yeah.
But how's that coming along? Just the communication and work for the
team? It's really good. he picked it up easily right from the start. Everyone's seen it. We've all seen it as players. And then now it's just, he's building that confidence and working on those little things that those little tendencies that he's having and guys are having rush plans for, and now this is the part of the season where you get better off things. You can get rid of some of those little hiccups in technique, and you can work through that, and he's done a great job of it so far.
I know these numbers can have some noise in them because there's a lot of backside cutbacks, but running right this year, you guys have been significantly better and more runs right. Yeah. Is that a testament, you think, to maybe your improvement?
Yeah, I mean, you hope it is, right? It's definitely a lot better feeling scoring off the right side, and there's not that much. I mean, it even goes to tendencies. Teams know that last year we were pretty dominant heavy with the left side. So to be able to, switch up and go right, and Kyle has the same confidence in the right side as the left is huge, and it makes it more fun for me being on the front side. And obviously Pooney's a huge help with that, and just being able to fill in, being athletic, and understand the offense, to be able to press, some of our landmarks. It's just been fun playing with them, and yeah, it's nice to score.
I'm sure there's respect for the Chiefs. Is there a larger level of animosity for the team? Is that more college?
I think it's more college. Probably, the whole rivalry thing and whatever. It sucks we lost last year. That was my first experience, playing against them and losing, and then it had to be in the Super Bowl. But I don't think so. I think, you try and end every year like, guys go through Trent said as depression phases after the season, losing the Super Bowl, and then you wash it. And then this year, it's a new team, obviously different, 3-3 start, so this team's trying to find our way through this season. And, they're just, it's a little more because it's the Chiefs, but, it's just another game this season to get better.
I know there are a couple of breakdowns in protection in like 2 key spots. Do you go back and watch it, and are you able to just watch it, look at it objectively, or does it sting a little more?
I mean, it obviously stung. After you watch it, the first couple times you watch it and take the emotion out of it. You think about it logically. You're like, all right, here's what happened. Here's how we can fix the protection and that kind of thing. So, yeah, emotionally, of course, dude. Everyone's mad we lost the Super Bowl. Who isn't? We're mad that we had a breakdown in overtime on the goal line. It's awful. It's a terrible thing, and we hated it, and everyone did. But when you go back and you watch the season review, and it's like, all right, this can't happen again, and here's how we're going to fix it. So it sucks, but, you learn from things, man. That's why they're called scars.
Fred, what is it like trying to defend Travis Kelce?
It's not fun. It's not fun at all. He's one of the best to ever do it, and just real savvy. I think that's the word to describe him, savvy, knowing exactly where to be. Him and the connection him and Pat got is the best that we've seen, so going to have to be on it.
What's it been like having to go back and watch that film from the Super Bowl as you prepare this week?
Yeah, it's been fun, to go back and relive that and see where we went wrong and try to fix that for this time around.
Fred, what kind of emotions does that bring, looking back at the film and knowing this week, although it's just another game, what emotions does it bring knowing the history between you two?
Probably not as dramatic as I'm sure everybody else is probably thinking. Hey, it was what it was, moved on, new season, new game, new teams, new players. Hey, we're just going to try and prepare our best to our ability.
Do you feel like you've learned something having watched that, and I'm sure the previous games that you played against them, just changing anything different or maybe a new way to attack them?
Yeah, there's small things throughout the game that we're looking at, and at the end of the day, it's a new year. They run what they run. We run what we run. Wow, that was a tough one to get out, but. Yeah, we just got to be on it for this time around.
Do you think the defensive performance from you guys in Seattle is kind of like a measuring stick of showing people what you got, how dominant you guys can be this season, but then on top of that, a spark as you go into this game?
Yeah, there was good things we did in that game, and then there was things that we needed to clean up as well. That's usually the case in all wins and losses. You got to be critical of yourself through every single game and clean up whatever mistakes we did have. And then I think the turnovers was the difference in that game, us taking the ball away.
Fred, I'm sure extend plays to challenge you guys in the back, especially with Travis.
Yeah, it wears on you because you have to cover for an extra play. Basically it's 2 plays in one, and we know that. Even though you do know it, it's different when you're out there having to do it right. And gotta make sure you have your track spikes on and ate a good breakfast in the morning.
Fred, collectively, the 4th and 1 in overtime, was that one particularly, did that stay with you for a while?
Not necessarily. Yeah, you want to be great in those critical situations to ultimately, end and win the game. But there's little plays throughout the entire game that you could have said, oh, that was the one that could have won it, right? So you got to look at all of them.
Going back to those emotions, Nick was sort of talking about you want to kind of put them to the side and not let them become a distraction, rather than like using them as a catalyst for your play. What do you think about that?
I think he said that beautifully, and I'd say the same.
What's it like having Ricky Pearsall back?
Oh, it's amazing. Love Ricky. Love everything that he's about from the moment he came on our team. Was a real humble cat, coming up to guys, introducing himself, and was obviously sad for what happened to him. But now that he's back, I'm so excited for him to get his opportunity at some point.
Fred, last one, guys. One more question. It looked like it was on play for a lot of guys in this direction. Is that what you said? You got us there, or were there things you could have done, not you specifically, as a defense that could have stopped that?
I guess it's up to however, Coach Sorensen and everybody else see it. At the end of the day, yeah, it was a good play call. Could we have played it better? Of course, because obviously they got it, so there has to be some way that we have to play better if they were to bring it out again.
All right,
okay, thanks, guys.